I got a couple questions for you for the intro to this video. The first one is, what is the meaning of life? I mean, it could mean anything for anyone really. The pursuit of happiness, maybe you have a certain goal, maybe you want to climb a mountain, I don't know. And the next question I had was, have you ever played a game where you play as a monkey? Hey there, I'm John Monkey Gaming, and I played a wide variety of games where you play as or interact with monkeys, apes, and gorillas. Why'd I do this? I don't know. The first game that really came to mind for me was Bloons. This is just the definitive monkey game for me, apparently. This is kind of like the Flash game equivalent of Call of Duty, and that's because there's like 100 of them. So obviously, since there's more Bloons games than Stephen King books, I only played a few of them for the sake of my sanity. I remember Bloons 1 pretty fondly as a frequent Flash games player. I was mainly on Addicting Games and Nitrome, by the way. None of that mini clip. What do you think I am, an infant? Playing this brings back a lot of good memories and also bad ones, like don't shoot the puppy or can your pet. What? Who made those? I'm sure pretty much everyone here has played Bloons before, but if you haven't, you shoot balloons with darts, and if you get a certain amount of them in the level, you win. It's cool, you know, but there's just one problem. I need to get 100% of the balloons. It's kind of hard to stop yourself from trying to get 100%, I'm gonna be honest. No! And winning a level with just like 75% of the balloons or like 80% of the balloons, it's not enough. I need 100% of them. That's like if I went bowling and the rules changed and now I only have to get 7 of the pins to win. Like, no, I need the Wii Sports guy to feed me dopamine. There's a lot of levels available, and hey, the monkey is pretty cute, so basically all of my complaints are pretty invalid. It's an S tier. I don't even really need to say anything else about this game, do I? Do I really? Like, no. I tried out the sequel as well, and it's pretty different. There's a world map, there's better music, and generally it just looks better. But it also had a paid shop at one point, which is insane. Like, when did this come out? Like a paid shop in a Flash game, and what year would this have been? That's crazy. Funny enough, you can't even spend money on this game anymore since Flash got shut down. Rest in peace, brother. You will be missed. My enjoyment with Bloons 2 was quickly ended by losing a level by a single balloon. I then quit. No! I ended my time with the original Bloons saga by playing a Christmas edition. And let me tell you, I have no idea what I did in that game. I don't know what was going on. What? There's like Santa sleighs and like explosions, and I have no clue what that was. I quit after the first level. Overall, the Bloons series is pretty iconic for the Flash game scene. It had led to many spin-offs, some of which you might even know better than the originals. If original Bloons was Save the World, BTD is Battle Royale. This was absolutely everywhere when I was a kid. I mean, I remember half of my class playing BTD 5 on their iPod 4th gens, and piling every single monkey at the start of the map with absolutely no strategy at all. It was so funny. I've dipped my toes into the waters of BTD 6, and I wouldn't say I'm like a master at it, but like I can play it. I can play the game. I was in for a rude awakening when I booted up the first 2 games. I sucked at these, like no question. I was so bad at these for no reason. And it didn't help that there's no fast forward option. So the runs would end and I'd have to crawl my way back to where I was previously. The newer iterations have all these cool upgrade paths and monkeys, maps, quality of life features, and there's just nothing there in the first games. It's like a barren wasteland. I would not recommend going back to these. Just go play the new ones. Bloons 2, I think I would give like I'd give it an A tier just for the paid shop. That kind of sucks. Bloons TD 1 is a D. That was terrible. I hate that damn game. And Bloons TD 2, I think I'd give it like a C because it was a little better. But 5 and 6 are S, no doubt. Those are masterpieces. I have to sneeze. Because I had experience with the previous 2 series, I did want to try something new and broaden my monkey horizons a little, if you will. So I tried Bloons Super Monkey. And you know what? It's actually pretty cool. I hadn't heard of this one before, but it's basically like a scrolling shmup, a shoot 'em up. But this time you're a monkey dressed as Superman. And for starters, the music goes crazy. Hold on, let me pull it up. It's got some upgrades in the pause menu, like a little build your own monkey workshop. And I was just terrible at all these Bloons games, I guess, because I chose the worst upgrade path ever and I lost pretty early on. I went with the plasma because I was like, that looks cool. I'll go with that. It's plasma. It's gotta pop balloons, right? And honestly, I think I could pop more balloons with a needle attached to my ass. So I lost. But hey, it was a good time and it's free on Steam. So like whatever. It's B tier. Oh God. Ancestors, the Humankind Odyssey? More like Ancestors, the... Okay, I had a little bit of background going into this one. I'd heard some outside opinions. I think I watched Ren's review on it, and that was really good. But I wasn't looking forward to this. And I saw it was on sale on Steam. It must have moved from Epic Games or whatever. So, and it had 80% positive reviews. So I bit the bullet and I bought it. Is it a good idea for a game? Yeah, it really is. Do I want to play it? No, I never want to play this game again. Things started out strong with the name of my lineage, Bill Clinton. This gave me a lot of energy and confidence that I would power through this game and enjoy every moment I had with the Bill Clinton lineage. Instead, I was met with a barrage of the most unfun things you can do in a video game. Like, just so bad. So you start out as like a baby hominid or like an ape, whatever. It's close enough to a damn monkey, all right? This little guy is scared out of his mind. The visuals that represent being like scared or stressed or whatever for this little monkey are really cool, like in concept, but in practice, it's just so annoying. This little guy sees FNAF jump scares when he's freaking out. Like I just see pictures of Joe Biden with BTS. I don't get it. Shortly after you dodge the Machine Girl album covers, you switch characters and begin to learn the game as like an adult monkey ape guy. The gameplay, which boils down to walking, drinking, eating, and sleeping, is really slow, believe it or not. Those things are not fun. I already do those, and I don't like doing them in real life. Why would I want to do it here? I understand it's supposed to like put you in the shoes of this tribe, you know, you gotta feel like you're actually here and in this place, but I got a question. Is sitting here for 30 minutes laying on a pile of leaves really essential, or do you just want to help me fall asleep tonight? And then I hit like the big stinker. Like, this is the stinky, icky, yucky, smelly dog water. To explore the world more effectively, you're given what is essentially like a third-person waypoint system. Like, you have to go through all of these blank waypoints on the map and like click on it, you press Y, and then you hold Y to like scan it or whatever, and then it tells you what it is, which if you have never seen it before, it's just a question mark, so you're shit out of luck there. And then if you want to track it, you tap Y again, and then I don't know how you get out of it. I think you just move. In the time that I played, I unlocked the ability to put a leaf in my other hand with the press of a bumper. So that's cool. I learned that I have two hands. And I'm sure you unlock more abilities that actually give you useful stuff down the line. Like, I'm sure like someone's gonna go in the comments and be like, actually you learn how to wiggle your toes at level 6. But I don't have high hopes for the rest of the upgrades when the first thing I unlock is how to put a leaf in my left hand. It just makes me think this game is gonna be the slowest thing ever. Next I'm gonna unlock how to furrow my brow or like hold in a sneeze. Other than that, I made a pile of leaves that was the most tedious crafting system in a video game. I got rained on and it made me really cold, even though I'm like in a jungle. Rain has never made me like that cold. I've gotten drenched in rain before. I wasn't cold unless it was like cold out, but you're in a jungle. I also almost broke my leg falling, but I avoided that by eating anti-bone breaking plants. Or at least I think that's what they were. That's what that icon, the shield, you see the shield with the bone? It kind of looks like that, right? I think that's what it means. I couldn't find it anywhere in like the tutorials in the menu. So I absolutely just dumped on this game, but I would like to reiterate for people who do actually enjoy it that I understand why it was made this way. It's for the sake of accuracy, you know? It's supposed to make you feel like you're in this environment playing as this little monkey hominid guy. But at a certain point, you have to realize that you're not really developing for the sake of making a video game anymore when you just focus on accuracy. And I don't think people want to play a game that isn't developed like a video game.
Jesus, man, these effects are just miserable.
Oh, I feel like sick. Like, this is just like too much. It's not very intuitive or fun or paced well. It just isn't, it's not a good time. I would give this an F tier. I could not stand this game. Yeah, I don't know what you expected. You clicked on the video. I struggled to decide which Donkey Kong game I wanted to put here, but I ended up putting Donkey Kong Country. It's just so iconic, you know? You see this gorilla? It's iconic. He kind of looks like Jimmy Neutron too, like a Chad version of Jimmy Neutron. Besides DK himself being identifiable, this game just stands on its own so well. The visuals, the music, Diddy and DK, you can look at a frame of this game and just know what it is. If you haven't played this, you're really missing out. You can throw barrels or shoot out of barrels, fly from barrels. It's a lot of barrel-related interactions, to be honest. And unlike the other games, this one really makes you feel like you're a damn monkey or a gorilla in Donkey Kong's case, whatever. Just throwing stuff around and jumping, having a good time. You even collect bananas, which is pretty cool. And you can be in the rain without getting cold in 5 minutes. Who would have known that that was actually like how you should make a game? And it'd be more fun if you didn't get cold in 5 minutes. I don't need to say anymore. It's a great game, and this video couldn't really do without it. S tier. Ape Out was a sneaky one for me. I love Devolver, and I usually check out what they publish, but somehow this one under my radar. I didn't know about this one. You play as an ape who starts out locked in a cage, but believe it or not, the ape does break out of the cage. Yeah, I know, it's pretty crazy. And thank God, otherwise, you know, this game would be pretty boring. Like, very, very boring. But not as bad as Ancestors: The Humankind Odyssey. Once you're coming out of the cage and you're doing just fine, you casually start absolutely demolishing every person in sight by either throwing them into walls, throwing stuff at them, making them fire at each other. The perspective creates this effect where a lot of the map is blocked off at a time. They're doing some funky math stuff here. I don't know what's going on, but it's cool. But basically, it forces you to try to predict where enemies move in the time where you can't see them. And it always keeps you on edge, and it's pretty neat. You never know when an enemy is going to be around a corner. And the death screen actually shows the path you took through the level. That's neat. I like that. That ain't even the best part of the game though. The best thing is that the sound effects are actually almost entirely, I think other than like a couple, are comprised of drums, like sounds from a drum kit, including the music. Like the music is just an upbeat drum beat that gets more intense and adds more like drum fills when you take down more enemies. It is such a cool sound. If there's any game that you choose to buy from this list, get this one. Get Ape Out. I can't imagine that someone would dislike this game, and it's on sale pretty often for really cheap. This is an A tier. Super Monkey Ball starts out with a shot of a baby monkey crawling through a desert. So it's a masterpiece. It actually, you know what? It kind of reminds me of the Dark Souls 3 intro. I didn't grow up with any like home consoles as a kid. I basically just played children's MMOs on an iMac. So my experience with these is pretty slim. I actually did play a lot of Marble Blast Gold, if anyone knows what that is. I used to play it when it rained during recess and we'd go inside, like during elementary school. We would play on the computers, and this was like the only game they had. And yeah, it's kind of adjacent to that, except there's not a monkey in the marble. At least I hope not. I hope there's not a monkey in the marble. The main course of this game is pretty straightforward. You're a monkey and you roll to the finish line and you collect bananas along the way. That's it really. This would be easy if the game didn't get extremely hard. There were rare moments when I played this where things would go really smoothly, like I'd perfectly slide through the finish line going really fast or round a corner really well. And damn, does it feel good to do that. Like this game really makes you feel really cool when you're moving fast and it's like slick. That being said, if you're trying to be cool, sometimes it doesn't go very well. You wanna skip? Hey, look at that. Look at that, I'm basically a speedrunner at this point. Check this out. I also saw the burger cube in a level, and I actually wrote a little point. How I write these videos is I just kind of make notes about the game as I'm playing it. And one of the notes was just burger cube. And I kind of forgot what that was for a second. I had to go watch the video again and be like, what is Burger Cube? I knew quite a bit about how the main game works, so I decided to delve into the other mini games and see what those had to offer. One of them was really good and the other one was really bad. And we're gonna start with the bad one, which was racing. If you took every single thing out of Mario Kart but left the track and like 4 items, you got monkey ball racing. It's terrible. But the monkey fight mode, now that's what I'm here for, baby. Played 1 round of this against CPUs and I made a huge comeback against yellow, and it was just a very important moment in my life that I won't forget in a week. Monkey Ball's a good game, but I don't really have much desire to go back and play it, so I'm gonna give it a B for ball. Like I said earlier, I didn't have any home consoles, so I didn't have anything to play Ape Escape. I never knew about this game for most of my life. So how did it end up here? Well, I got recommended the song Dark Ruins on my Discover Weekly a while ago, like a few months ago. And I listened to the entire soundtrack religiously for like a month. So I gotta try it out, right? This is the only game in the list where you don't play as a monkey or an ape or a gorilla or Curious George. Curious George, I forgot. Curious George, I have the soundtrack. Look at it. Look at that. Curious George. Yeah, look at him. He's playing the fucking drums. Let's go. Anyway, Curious George. Okay, what was I talking about? This time, the apes are the bad guys, and they're led by the main villain, Spectre, who put this like robot mind thing on his head, and now he can beat the impossible quiz in like 2 tries. The apes have used this time machine from this old scientist guy, and I don't know about you, but there's something familiar about this guy. He just looks kind of, I feel like I've seen him before. So yeah, the apes have this time machine and they're going back in time to rewrite history so that the dominant species is apes and not humans. And that's where the player character Spike comes in. He's here to get all the apes. Kind of looks like Denzel Curry on that new album cover. Spike's got more than just his grubby mitts though, you know, he's got some gadgets to really help him through this monkey capturing experience. The most obvious one is the net that helps you capture the apes. But there's also a stunning weapon, so you can like stop them in their tracks and net them. And the monkey radar is pretty cool. It lets you like look at a monkey and then you can like press a button to like get a description of him. And I actually saw a monkey named Dillweed, which is really cool. And also a monkey named George, which again, I mean, come on, Curious George, he's in the game. Except this Curious George in Ape Escape had a gun. Whoa, he's got a fucking gun? The weirdest part of the controls is probably that the right analog stick is used for like swinging your net or using your gadgets. So to swing the net in the right direction, you have to point the analog stick in that direction. And it's a little weird, but it honestly kind of feels nice. You know, like you feel like you're like flicking the stick to like, you know, flick the net. I don't know what I'm talking about. I brought up earlier that the reason I played this game is because Spotify's algorithm was like, hey, they'd like some ape music. And I still think this is one of my favorite video game soundtracks of all time. I mean, it stands on its own outside of the game entirely. You really could know nothing about this game and love the soundtrack, because I did. B tier, it's a pretty good time. Okay, I'm sorry. I only have one more monkey game left for you. I know. It's very sad. It's very sad stuff. But, you know, I only could play so many monkey games, but this one is monumental. This is one of the biggest monkey releases of all time. And I saved it for last because it's a YouTube video and I gotta keep you here, you know? So the game that changed the history, the course of time and space, kind of like Ape Escape, and that's Nickelodeon's Monkey Quest. Remember earlier when I mentioned that I played a lot of children's MMOs? Sadly, this gameplay isn't for me because this game was shut down in 2014. I was around for I think a little under 4 years. Oh yeah, you wanna know who made this, by the way? Behavior Interactive. The people who made Dead by Daylight, Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor, and most importantly, Alvin and the Chipmunks Chipwrecked the game. Monkey Quest was like a weird blend of a platformer and also an MMO social hub where you could kind of hang out with people. It's kind of like Pop Tropica, but like monkeys. And there were quite a few iconic areas. There was the Floating Isles, the Stone Gardens, a big tree, I don't remember the name of it. And my personal favorite, Soggy Creek. Who doesn't love Soggy Creek? From what I remember, this game was actually like pretty good. Like it kind of seems like a barren piece of garbage, and maybe it was, but from what I remember, I liked this game. and I'm kind of sad it's shut down. Apparently other people felt the same way, to the extent of taking the game files and hosting their own server under the name Monkey Quest Reborn. This has happened with quite a few of the abandoned children's MMOs, including Club Penguin and Toontown Rewritten. Sadly, the team behind Monkey Quest Reborn was contacted by Nickelodeon and asked to take it down because they were using the game files illegally and all that and whatever. Which sucks, because they have done literally nothing with Monkey Quest. Like, why did you even get upset? Who cares? It's weird how much effort and money can go into something like an MMO where it's like a social world that you can actually be in. Yeah, it's virtual, but you know, you feel like you're there, and it can just be erased, you know, now it's gone. You can't have a nice conversation in Monkey Quest anymore. So rest in peace to Monkey Quest. You will be missed. S tier, no doubt. Thanks for getting through my video on monkey games. I appreciate you watching. I did make it through this whole video without mentioning bored apes. Well, until now. Shit. Alright, bye-bye. I'm gonna fade out. Bye-bye, I'm fading. I'm going away. Bye-bye.